So Montreal Mayor Valérie Plante is on the line, going to join us right now, and we appreciate her time as always. Lots of things to talk about, and I know we don't have that much time. So, Mayor, thank you, first of all, for being here again. We do appreciate it.
Indeed.
It's my pleasure.
Let's begin with, of course, some sad news. We just heard on the news about you having been out there this morning, along with many other people, tragically, in the wake of that little girl, a 7-year-old girl, Maria, who was killed. Look, I know the city comes in for its fair share of criticism. I'm just not so sure what can be done. So I know the borough acted quickly to at least put bollards up for the time being. Mm-hmm. This is not the first time this has happened. So what is the plan as far as trying to keep these things from happening? Because there have been too many events like this already.
Yes, absolutely. So we know that this neighborhood is under a lot of pressure because it's downtown, but it's also a very dense area. A lot of families live there, so it's really busy. So what we've been implementing since we took office is to redo some of the streets, whatever it's adding bollards or to put speed bumps, bigger signs, and also to do we've done 100 intersections in that big area because we want to make sure that when kids go to school, it's safe. Now, this tragedy happened, and of course, it breaks my heart, and it just shows how we need to move faster. Even though we've been putting a lot of efforts, we need to continue to assure that car drivers respect the limits, the speed limits, that there's measures that supports them to slow down, to stop at the right place, so we can make our streets and our sidewalks safer for all citizens.
Mayor, we spoke to many listeners and also our traffic guru, Rick Lechner, and the theory was that drivers are so frustrated, they're just so torqued, and so because of that, accidents are happening more frequently. Of course, this event is specifically incredibly tragic, but why do you think there have been so many pedestrian accidents of late?
Right. I mean, I'm going to say something that maybe a lot of people will not going to like, but, I've been saying a lot that the network, our streets are way too busy. There's been an increase of cars everywhere in Quebec, but especially in the metropolitan area. And so it causes more traffic. And also when you see the Le Pont-Tunnel in reparation, so of course it creates frustration. But I have to say, I have to be very honest. I'm going to put all the measures that I can to say, to secure intersection, but there's so many in Montreal, but we need to question how the space, public space, how it is being shared between the most vulnerable, which is pedestrians and cars and trucks. So there has to be a place for everybody. But ultimately, if we really want to reduce, we want to not anymore have accidents, the study says very, clearly that there has to be less cars and the speed limit needs to be not as fast.
Okay, but you don't think all the construction contributes to the problem?
Oh, it does. That's what I was saying. But I have to also put it in a bigger perspective. So not only does when there's construction sites, it creates frustration, of course, but the reality also is that the city and our streets are busier than ever with more cars. The number of cars is increasing every year.
Yeah, the problem with that, though...
And I'm not here to shame people using their car because I know a lot of people have to, but I have to also be honest about what everybody has to do. And of course, that's why I'm also fighting for more public transit options, because I want people to have real options to leave their car at home. And I know that it's not possible for everybody on the island, of course.
I will tell you, for people listening, this is one of those conundrums. There are not going to be less cars on the road. There will only be more cars. And I know that the city wasn't designed originally to handle this many cars. That's the problem. So, narrowing streets, I don't think is going to make a difference except basically raise the frustration level for people. I think we can all agree speed limits should be reduced. That makes sense. Intersections should, have an area where pedestrians can feel safe if they have to cross. But this idea of, there are too many cars, we're stuck with that. That's not going away. There are not going to be fewer cars. So I'm wondering how you solve that problem when you can't just take away someone's car.
Well, I mean, like I said, probably we need an hour to go through this subject. And like I said, I know it's not very popular, but I have to not agree with you. I mean, we cannot just say there's going to be more and more cars and it's okay. We really need to question as a society, how do we want to move forward in the future? Because right now, people are troubled by what happened to this little girl. But in the last year, a lot of elders died also because, there's just more traffic and there's more frustration, like you were saying about construction sites and everything. But as mayor of the city of Montreal, I need to make sure that the territory is safe. And as narrowing streets, we've seen amazing results of less accident in the Plateau Montreal, in Rosemont, La Petite Patrie, even in Ville-Marie where, the accident happened. There's been improvement in some other streets. So I will continue to do this, and I cannot, just let it go and say, well, that's the reality. There's always more cars. I will act on securing intersection and places where people go to school and like going to the CPE and different places like that. But we need to have a collective reflection.
Okay, look, it's a problem and it's not going to be easy to solve. I wish you luck.
No.
I mean, we all do.
Yeah.
But,
for sure.
Not easy.
Yeah.
I'll bring up the other thing that was a big story for us this week. We heard from a lot of people, and that's what your decision on what to do on Mount Royal by eliminating those 30% of parking spaces. I will tell you, and I'm sure I'm not going to be the first one, there are a lot of people not very happy with that decision, including this one particular caller whose name is Ron, the day we asked. Listen to this.
I think green space isn't a bad thing. I get the whole idea, but it's the mayor. She's taken a really grandstand opportunity of the COP15 being here to announce this.
Okay, I think we kind of questioned the same thing. COP15 is in town. Did you choose to make this announcement because they were here?
Oh, no. For me, it's something that we've been in the report coming out of the OCPM. One of the recommendation, number 14, actually says that we should reconfigure and have less parking at the Maison Smith. So to me, it's making sense. But I'll be very honest. If I have, we did our homework in terms of evaluating how the occupancy of the parking before making that decision. And most of the time, it's definitely not as busy. The weekend is more busy, of course. But, it comes to a place where whatever is the COP15 or not, for me, if I have the choice between encouraging or supporting a heat island or a green space, I'm going for the green space. And we're keeping 60% of the parking, so it's not like we're erasing everything. Accessibility is still there. It is important, but I think we need to find a right balance. And I think that's a great news for our mountain that we love so much.
Something that we heard from our listeners was that there's no plan in place to still allow people who absolutely have to take their cars and who are going to struggle to be able to have access to the island to get there, to the mountain. And they suggested that perhaps, a shuttle, if you could provide parking elsewhere so they could leave their cars and then take a shuttle up to the mountain. And the consensus seemed to be that it was a decision kind of made from the hip, that there wasn't a real plan in place and there wasn't really a solution to still provide access to the mountain for families.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I when I said we did our homework, it is true. We didn't make the decision, in the last few days. I would say that about 5 days a week.
But the weekends are the
event,
issue, right?
I know, but even there, it's about busy during the whole weekend, about 60% of the time that it's fully busy. So what I'm saying is we're keeping 60%. And to me, that should be the headline, because if we follow the recommendation of what should be done, and especially when everybody right now says to the city, we want more green spaces, we want more parks, we need to support biodiversity, I feel like we're giving a balanced answer, and the mountain is under pressure. And I have to say that to remind everybody, we love the mountain, but it's busier than ever. So adding green to it, it's actually a great news for us now, but also for the generations to come.
Yeah. Although I will tell you, as one texter suggested, I've never heard anyone suggest the mountain is too small. If you want to go there with your family and picnic, there's plenty of places to go. Taking this land and turning this into a green space is not going to accommodate that many more people.
So, again, I want to say that if you go on the mountain, you'll see how people, because there's more people using it, and I can come up with the numbers with pleasure, you'll see that there's a lot of places people go out of the path. And so the mountain is losing its biodiversity because there's more people and people are looking for quiet space. People want to walk in the lonely place on the mountain. And I'm being very serious about this. If you talk to biologists and people that are talking about the mountain, they're trying to protect the biodiversity because it's under a lot of pressure because more people are on it.
You're in a tough position. I mean, listen, we really appreciate your time. There's obviously a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
We wish you happy holidays and look forward to speaking again soon.
Happy holiday to you too.